Hi guys, some gamer dude here. Sorry I haven't uploaded anything recently. It's just Untap's been really pissing me off. I have had statistical anomalies that are just so infuriating. Less than a 2% chance of happening, and I'm thoroughly convinced if I still play the game on Untap, I'll end up damaging my own stuff, flipping tables, and probably quitting the game. It's just things with 2% chance of happening are happening, and no, no, I'm not going to put myself through that. But today, Forceville Jordan, I guess, showed us the new templates for the Lapis cluster, which he said I actually didn't think they were going to come out till the new, actually the Lapis cluster cards. So that's surprising. Came out of the blue, and I thought we'd have a little talk about them because yeah, why not? So Fossiville's not really changed that much since the Valhalla cluster. I'm Australian, so we actually had Valhalla cluster here. It was expensive. I didn't buy it. But I think they're fairly nice looking cards. I think most people do. I'm not as fussed, well, not so much fussed, but I didn't get so angry about the yellow borders for time shifted cards or not Forceville owned property cards as other people do. And I quite like the format. It's functional. It's it's functional. It's got a few problems, namely with the colorless cost in Pressure Beast Queen hiding being well unreadable for the most part. You have to kind of dig in there to see it, but I like it. And Fosseville is changing it up. I'm not surprised they changed it up. I think there's a small change between Valhalla and Grim, and there is a reasonably decent change between Grim and Alice Costa. Sorry if I'm short of breath. I haven't been feeling well. The but this is the most drastic one. I I don't know if I'm the biggest fan. There's a lot to like about it, but a lot of people have said it feels like Vanguard. It does. I'm not sure that's exactly a bad thing, but at the same time, it removes a lot of identity. First of all, already looked like Magic's, what it's called. I think it's called Time Shift over there. They're time shifted cards, which I believe were a redesign done because the design team thought that the way the cards already looked was, how should I put this? They don't function as well as they could. And I guess that's the thought here. At least that's what's to be taken from what Jordan's written. But are they right? Well, the attack and defense stats now being on the side, the Vanguard comparison being there because of shield values, it's I'm not a fan. I get how it makes the picture stand out more because it gives more room to the picture. I fully appreciate that, but it's an insignificant part of the card. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the stats being on the side. It makes it feel insignificant. I get why it's done to make the picture stand out more, but the pictures are already very big in Force of Will. They didn't need to be made bigger. It's nice enough. It it does make the card more. I think a lot of the changes were made to make the artwork stand out more, which I know a lot of people do like. The cost wheel, I think that's what people will call it, so what I'm calling it anyway, has been completely changed with the middle circle put in the center of the 5 attribute circles so that the cost that's attributeless, void, is in the center. It's squishy, but it's something I do get for functionality. It looks right. I don't hate it. I get it. I think it looks a little bit squishy, but eh. Then we get down to the attribute of the card being shifted over to just above the text instead of below the text to the right of the stats. It's we'll see if a non-full art version makes it a bit more prominent, but it's like the attack score. It's just like you have to kind of find it. It's not like it doesn't scream at you. It's like, where is the text? Oddly enough, though, the text is very easy to see, very easy to read. It's about what it was. It's nice. I do like how the full arts look now, though. They're a lot cleaner looking. On the topic of precision replacing target attack, I get it. I do get it. It's a good choice to replace target attack. Target attack was a confusing term. I don't think it's confusing once you understand uh, it is an attack that targets, but it's not a targeting ability. But I understand where the confusion comes from. I'm not arrogant enough to go, stupid noobs, they don't know basic things, they're noobs. Because, it's confusing. It is. Let's be honest. However, I don't think precision is the right word, at least by itself. Uh, direct attack wouldn't have conveyed the right thing either, because it sounds like something that's unblockable. Uh, targeted attack wouldn't work either. Maybe precise attack. I just feel that precision by itself doesn't really mean anything. It's like precision. Okay, what does that mean? What is it precise at? Attacking. Well, that doesn't convey attacking. It, it, it probably doesn't bother me as much as I'm making out, but it's just one of those little things you're just going to go, kind of missed the mark. Though I do understand trying to make the keyword smaller. I'm fine with it. There's also the topic of the super rares keeping the. Well, he made a big deal about super rares getting a gold thing around the cost, a gold circle. And I really do hate to tell him this, but super rares already had a gold tint to them. It's not that big of a new thing. Just checking my own folder here. Let's see, where's a super? Ah, yeah, here's um, Bedivere. Yeah, Bedivere. All the super rares already had this gold border around the card and the gold hint to them, and the border was translucent, so it could show the art stretching out more. It was already very obvious what was a super rare. It also did have a gold tint to them. It's not new Jordan, although Jordan didn't really notice that a lot of rulers have different art between ruler and J ruler. So I don't know if he's the most observant guy. Not knocking him, just saying it's a thing that's already there. Uh, but hey, uh, closing thoughts. They're fine. It's not the biggest deal in the world. They're not like, oh God, that's hideously ugly. Stop. Not like Dragon Ball Z Set 4. That was exactly that. Mostly because of one artistic choice and a few problems with the way they were previewed. And it was like, no, no, none of that. No, thank you. But turned out for the best. Have a few set 5 cards that they look nice. And I'm sure once I get these in hand, these new Force of Will cards will look fine too. I'll get over it, stop caring, and I'll be like, well, same thing I am with art at the moment. I'm like, but what does the card do? And yeah, that's it. I think I'll get over the attack score feeling insignificant, the color of the resonator attribute. So we all say colors. It's really attribute, but we all say colors. The attribute being kind of just hard to find. Bit annoyed that the font stayed the same though. It looks a bit better than it did last time. It's a lot clearer, but it really should have changed the font of the titles. Yeah, they're warming up to me over the day. That they're not bad or anything. Yeah, I could see liking them over time. I do think the originals, well, the Alice Costa cards in particular, looked a bit nicer. The Grim Costa cards are a bit, how should I put this, deliberately designed in Photoshop. If you get what I mean, they've all got this regimental look about them because of the hard greys on them. The Alice Costas have a lot of colours to them. I think they're quite nice looking. These ones are nice looking in their own right. So that's it. That's my opinion. I think I'll grow into them. I was like, why did this change have to happen at the beginning of the day? Well, this afternoon, sorry, my time. Now it's night and I'm gotten over it, the shock of the change, and I'm like, okay, this is good. Why not? And that's your lot. So hope to see you next time. If I do something, I'll probably do things for Lapis Cluster. I don't see doing things for the rest of Vingolf, or even looking at Vingolf in its entirety, because to be quite frank, Vingolf was boring, 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 boring. And then a few cards were like, okay, that's quite good. I like that. And yeah, it's not worth looking at. So see you next time, guys.